Cantaloupe and Belingy and the promise it won't hurt. Saddle up everybody, it's time for cowboy church. Saddle up everybody, it's time for cowboy church. Hit 'em up, move 'em out, it's time for cowboy church.
Howdy! Wow!
There are 3,141 counties or county equivalents in the United States. Out of those, 206 voted for Barack Obama in 2008, Obama again in 2012, and then suddenly voted for Donald Trump in 2016. These are the pivot counties. What made these voters go from this version of a president
Amazing grace
to this one?
China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain.
What is it about Donald Trump they found and still find so appealing? And most importantly, will these Americans vote for Donald Trump again in 2020?
The prevailing wage in Jasper County is not what the wage was that was being paid at Maytag. Make America Great Again sounds wonderful because Make America Great Again sounds like I'm gonna go back to making whatever wage I was making.
Jasper County, Iowa is a long stretch of interstate dotted with small towns. A 730 square mile patchwork of corn and soybean fields. Population, 37,000. To step into this place today is wildly different than stepping into it even 20 years ago. Back then, Jasper County was still home to a vibrant manufacturing community. Newton, Iowa, the county seat, was a company town. They built washing machines here, a lot of them.
People could leave Newton High School in Jasper County, Iowa, and step into the plant in Maytag. You know, they could make $20, $30, $40 an hour.
They made a living wage. But something happened. In 2006, Maytag was acquired by Whirlpool. In 2007, the new boss moved the factory. How'd that happen?
Thing right. Look at you.
What are you shooting at?
Apparently
You're shooting at the trees. My hunting partner today is Jeremy Yanger.
Dude, we suck.
Jasper County native. Around town, he's an adjunct professor at a local college, a husband and dad, and a Democratic activist.
Barack Obama was pretty popular. He got
was.
voted in here in 2008, turned out again Jasper County and the whole state of Iowa in 2012.
You had a president prior in President George W. Bush who wasn't particularly popular in this area. The war was not going particularly well, and people were tired. Jasper County residents wanted to feel like there was something in the future, and so they turned out for Obama.
Maytag had already moved on when Obama came to town from nearby Illinois. His campaign message of hope and change was welcome in a town looking for a second chance. In 2008, Obama took Jasper County with a 7-point margin,
Thank you, Iowa.
a feat he repeated in 2012.
You know, they said this day would never come.
But come 2016, voters here showed they were not exactly satisfied with the Democratic Party.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Donald Trump overtook Hillary Clinton, winning by a staggering 18 points.
2016, fundamentally different story.
The excitement behind a Clinton campaign was not there. There are a few
I'm hearing that from, can I tell you?
Yeah.
All over the state. People tell me by the time she ran, she had already been in the public eye for the better part of 2 decades, and that just allowed for such a counter narrative to have built up.
Absolutely. It was the lesser of two evils.
Sure.
Okay, like legit in 2016, that's literally how people felt. Like, I'm gonna plug my nose and I'm gonna vote and it's gonna suck, but I don't think they suck as much as the other person.
Jeremy grew up on this stretch of Interstate 80. He and his wife hold doctorate degrees, but gave up higher paying jobs elsewhere to raise their kids here. When he's not working with his college students, Jeremy teaches middle school.
Teach, I don't know, anywhere from 150 to 180 kids inside a given school day.
You're born and raised here, your life is here, your 3 kids are here.
Right.
You want Americans in other parts of the country to say, man, I want you to know this.
I literally have only set foot on a farm accidentally I didn't grow up there. My parents both worked for a local grocer. Most people in my area didn't grow up on a farm either, quite frankly. Parents worked for Maytag, and they worked here in the center of the city or out on the north side of town.
On the north side of town, there's a new purveyor of blue-collar work, TPI Composites. Albeit a non-union shop, the green energy company set up inside one of Maytag's old plants, and now they build wind turbines along the factory floor instead of washing machines. There's also Trinity Structural Towers, putting out the skyscraping spires that hold up TPI's turbines. And near the city center, what was once another Maytag facility is now a craft beer bar, serving a rather ample selection of Iowa taps.
I've spoken with some voters here who see it through the more liberal lens in terms of being critical of this White House. And I've talked with other lifelong Iowans born and raised here in Jasper County who say this is a man who can do no wrong. He is not perfect, but he's everyone's president. We are so proud of him, and we can't wait to vote for him again in November 2020.
I can sit in a classroom and I can listen to the political views of parents coming out of kids' mouths. The vocal majority of them are very critical of the current administration. There are definitely some who are supportive, but they're far more quiet right now. And it's interesting because in the lead up to something like 2008, I heard a lot of more liberal animus, and then Iowa
Voted blue?
4 years ago, you heard more Republican type things being said. More, yeah, we got to protect our border. I don't hear that now.
Tonight, I'm one county south of Jasper, Marion County, at the storied Knoxville Raceway.
The Knoxville Nationals is like the Indy 500 or the Daytona 500 of sprint car racing.
These aren't your regular stock cars. These are sprint cars. My host this evening is Thad Niermeyer. By day, a mild-mannered farmer. On summer nights, though, here in Knoxville, Thad drives his red pickup onto the dirt track here and pushes cars with it.
Sprint cars don't have a starter or a clutch. They're just push started. We get behind them with a pickup and we shove them, and then they flip the switch and turn them on and they take off. That's what I do instead of golfing or bowling or drinking beer. Well, I wouldn't mind doing that once in a while, but
Thad is also, I should add, chairman of the Jasper County Republican Party.
A lot of families, a lot of father and sons, a lot of different generations that are here.
I'm involved at the level of racing that I am just because my dad used to bring me up in the stands when I was a little kid.
Here in Knoxville?
Yeah, I've come here almost every Saturday in the summer since I was like 5 years old.
Jasper County, a lot of other parts of the state as a whole, voted for Barack Obama twice. And then suddenly in 2016, it seemed like there was a different vision forward that a lot of Iowans embraced.
Jasper County is different because we had Maytag. You know, they built washing machines there for 100 years, and then they didn't anymore.
Yeah.
And so they had a strong union. 15 years now that they've been gone, and so the whole dynamic of the people is changing.
When Maytag moved out of Jasper County, the union soon followed. And once the union picked up shop, Jasper County, Iowa lost one of its most reliably blue voting blocks.
The county used to be solid Democrat county, and now that has really changed a lot.
You believe the fabric of the county itself is, at the end of the day, it's red?
Yes. I think Donald Trump appeals to a lot of Democrats. I think a lot of people crossed over to vote for him because, you know, I'll be honest, Hillary Clinton wasn't a really great candidate. She didn't connect with people, and he did.
The question I always hear in Washington is, how can such a brash real estate mogul with questionable morals appeal to conservatives in the middle of the country? Well, the answer I found lies rather simply in just asking.
He's from Queens in New York City. How did he win over the hearts and minds of so many Iowans?
He's not afraid to take on the media. He is saying things to the media that the regular people would like to tell him.
For a billionaire businessman to connect with the average Joe, it's hard to believe it can happen, but it happens. It feels like he talks our language.
You got a lot of people that are kind of considered pivot voters because they voted for Obama, then they voted for Donald Trump. Still see that group of voters voting for him again in November of 2020.
I think so, but a lot of that will depend on who the Democrats nominate.
Do you think there's anyone there that, may be favorable to some Iowans that may say, all right, maybe I don't agree on everything, but that's someone who's going to be tough for President Trump to beat?
I'll tell you what, if I had to pick one of them, me being conservative, I like the governor of Montana, Bullock.
Steve Bullock, yeah.
Because he knows something about agriculture.
The countryside and farmland outside Newton are absolutely beautiful. So are the people who care for it. Richard Floss farms a good chunk of land with his wife, Bev.
That big barn used to be
This one, right?
the one that fell down over there. One of the 3 biggest barns in the county. Fox lives in there too. My dogs go up there and then they have a big ruckus.
Richard's grandfather first bought the farm. It was passed down to his mother and then to him and his brother.
Is that just something that is almost assumed with family? There will be a new generation prepared to take on the roles and responsibilities?
Well, the buck kind of stopped here
because
I don't have any children that are interested in farming. That is a big problem in this state and in the Midwest farm country right now, in that there's no young people that can farm.
Why not?
Most of the reason is they can't afford it.
Nowadays, half of the farms in the country produce less than $10,000 in crops annually. And since 1935, large family farms and corporate operations have eaten up more and more market share. This consolidation of production coincides with the consolidation of crops. In 2018, just 2 crops accounted for 44% of all crops in the United States: corn and soybeans.
There is this trade war largely between the United States and a country like China. And it seems like a lot of farmers are caught in the middle.
We take a pretty serious hit on our income. It doesn't need to be the way it is.
But there have been a number of farm aid packages in the last couple of years that have been passed to the tune of tens of billions of dollars.
Does it help? Yes, of course it helps. Is it an answer for the problem? Of course not. Stay out of it.
Right.
Let the markets work.
Soybeans are at a 10-year low right now. But even during the trade war, many farmers I speak with still support President Donald Trump. Richard is not one of them.
Kind of waiting for this cycle to get over with, if you will.
What happens to lifelong Republican voters here in Jasper County, these parts of Iowa, who maybe don't align with Donald Trump but still identify with conservative values?
I'm not a Republican, so I don't have that problem. But
Sure.
they're conflicted between their conservatism and supporting Trump.
Barack Obama, again, did win here.
Twice, with good numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Far fewer voters in this county showed up to support Secretary Hillary Clinton, instead pivoting to vote for Donald Trump. Do you feel as if those who supported him in 2016 are still supportive of him a few years later?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. We know people that voted for him that now say, my God, what did I do?
Is that right?
Oh, yes.
And what are their concerns?
Dishonesty. Just the dishonesty and disruption in the political process.
The white horse is my riding mare. The other one is Dunny Bunny. He's my old boy. Ivy Sue, we don't want to ride you. We just want to see you.
Ivy Sue, beautiful.
You probably don't get around horses, do you?
No, can you tell?
Well,
We didn't have these in North Jersey when I grew up. Hey.
Bev ran around Texas and California before coming home to Iowa.
and I love it. There is no place more alive than the prairie.
She was also, at one time, a Republican.
Yeah.
Do you think members of the ag community here in Jasper County still support President Trump?
Some do.
Some do.
Some tell me privately, no way.
Oh, interesting.
But they'll never vote for him again, but they won't say it out loud.
Who was the last Republican president that you supported?
Probably George H.W.
H.W.?
Yeah.
So starting the Clinton era or so, you've been pretty firmly Democrat since.
Yeah, the Republican platform left women behind, and you can't insult me that much and expect me to support a Republican.
What do you want Americans everywhere to understand about the values? What matters most here?
The care of the land. I'm fierce about it. Sometimes when we fight against Mother Nature and we go against what God tells us how we should live, we are fighting the wrong war. You know, there's a Gestalt saying, don't push the river. We have a tendency to push the river a lot.
All over Jasper County, from the farms to Newton, people face the same struggles of flight and abandonment. Kids are leaving the family farm, and the factory has left the town. But new companies are moving in. The Iowa Speedway popped up just as Maytag moved out. And those beers from the Cellar Peanut, Hazelig IPAs, well, they're brewed right here in Newton. If nothing else, Maytag's departure forced residents in Jasper County to pursue other options. In 2008, voters here put in for Barack Obama because they hoped for a better future. 8 years later, voters here put in for Donald Trump pretty much for the same reason. Through a coastal political telescope, it can be deceivingly easy to see pivot voters as overtly political, when in reality, many of them just want economic security and brighter days for themselves and for their families. I have no idea what Jasper County, Iowa will do in 2020, but the state's 2018 gubernatorial race could be a bit of an indicator. Republican Kim Reynolds took the county by 1,100 votes, and she also won the state.
I truly do not know where to start here. 1, 2, 3, they're literally everywhere. 17, 18, this is wild. 28, 29, 30, 31.
Of Iowa's 99 counties, 31 of them voted for Barack Obama twice before pivoting to Donald Trump. Pivot counties like these only account for 5% of the national vote, but they proved critical in swinging the 2016 election. In fact, when you think about it, swing states swing because their counties pivot.